Hello and welcome to Box Office Receipts, the first of 2019, going over the last weekend of 2018. I'm your host, Tyler Callahan, and not as crazy as last week's episode, but we do have quite a few things to talk about, so let's get right into it, as usual, with the weekend numbers. Staying in first place is Aquaman with $52.1 million, bringing its total to $189.3 million. Also staying in second place is Mary Poppins Returns with $28.3 million, with its total now at $99.2 million. Definitely having strong legs compared to its weaker opening. And I think you're starting to see a pattern here. In third place again is Bumblebee with $20.9 million and now has a total of $67.1 million. Fourth place is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse with $18.8 million with a total of $104.1 million. Again, another movie with strong legs. And lastly, in fifth place is The Mule with $12.1 million, bringing its total to $61.1 million. So besides fifth place, I was right with the rankings. However, it was kind of an easy one. I thought $8 to $10 million from Holmes and Watson would be enough for fifth place, and I was wrong on two fronts here. First, The Mule made $12 million, so it wouldn't have been enough anyway. And even then, Holmes and Watson only came in with $7.4 million, just enough for seventh place. Now in sixth place was Vice with $7.7 million, bringing its total to $17.6 million, and I wanted to bring it up because it might be an Oscar contender, and that it might also lose money. Apparently, it had a budget of $60 million, and after having watched it, I'm confused on how it costed $60 million. I would assume because it's of the cast it got, maybe bigger paychecks. But without spoiling anything, besides a few war scenes, there is not much going on besides talking, right? It's like a proper drama movie. So really the budget should have been like $30-40 million at most, because unless it does good internationally, it's going to take a loss. Like domestically, this is not going to hit $60 million. Speaking internationally, let's go international with some updates. Aquaman is now at $562 million internationally with a total of $751 million. As of now, it is tracking to hit $1 billion. Also, if it goes past $1.1 billion, there is a chance it will be the highest grossing DC movie ever, passing The Dark Knight Rises. Simply crazy, because while I thought it would do like $800 million, and maybe become the highest grossing DCEU movie, the track it's on right now, I didn't even think of so. So, good on Warner Bros. And good for the DCEU, they needed this. Mary Poppins Returns is at $75 million internationally with a total of $174.4 million. So far it's doing okay, but nothing great, which, considering Disney's other live-action movies not doing well in 2018 with A Wrinkle in Time and A Nutcracker bombing and Christopher Robin underperforming, they should be pretty happy with what they got. There are a few other countries though it has to open up in, so it should be able to get to $300 million, maybe $350. For Bumblebee, it's doing a bit less than what's needed, with $90 million internationally with a total of $157 million so far. Now, it's about to open in China this week, and normally that would provide a boost. However, for Bumblebee, apparently not. Now, take this with a grain of salt, but apparently Paramount sold Bumblebee's rights in China to Tencent Pictures. It was reported back in early December that Paramount teamed up with Tencent Pictures for Bumblebee, and that was good news because Sony teamed up with Tencent, and that really helped with Venom over there. However, if this is to believe from Gavin Feng on Twitter, who covers the Chinese box office, Paramount sold Bumblebee to Tencent for $60 million. This means Paramount gets $60 million in cold hard cash, and in return Tencent gets the profits at the Chinese box office, as well as streaming rights for the services over there. If this is true, then this is a great move by Paramount. Between this and the $20 million tax credit from California they got for filming there, this means the $135 million production budget could be as low as $55 million before it even released, which means Paramount might actually make a profit off this. Really smart move. Now, before we finish up and go into this weekend, let's go over the top 10 movies domestically and worldwide for 2018. First up is domestic. In 10th place is Venom with $213.2 million. In 9th place is Solo, a Star Wars story with $213.7 million. A real close difference there. 8th place is Ant-Man and the Wasp with $216.6 million. In 7th place is Mission Impossible Fallout with $220.1 million. In 6th place is The Grinch with $265 million. 5th place is Deadpool 2 with $318.4 million. In 4th place is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom at $416.7 million. Take a huge jump up here now. In 3rd place is The Incredibles 2 with $608.5 million. 2nd place is Avengers Infinity War with $678.8 million. And lastly, in 1st place is Black Panther with $700 million. So a lot of superhero and action movies for the top 10. Not surprising since a lot on the list are actually good movies. Also, top 3 movies, all Disney. Not bad. Now for worldwide, in 10th place is Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald at $628.5 million. In 9th place is Bohemian Rhapsody at $702.6 million. 8th place is Deadpool 2 at $735.6 million. 7th place, we have Aquaman now at $751.8 million. In 6th place is Mission Impossible Fallout at $791 million. At 5th place is Venom at $855.2 million. 4th place is Incredibles 2 at $1.2 billion. 3rd place is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom with $1.3 billion. In 2nd place is Black Panther with $1.34 billion. And lastly, in 1st place, with $2 billion, is Avengers Infinity War. So this compared to the domestic top 10, there are a few differences. Yes, there are quite a few superhero movies as well, but at least internationally, people like Harry Potter and Queen a lot more. Also for Aquaman, this is at the time of the recording, so it will go higher and become another $1 billion movie eventually, and domestically should hit $300 million. So if I was to do this list in a couple weeks, let's say, Aquaman would shoot up to the top 5 domestically. And then we would also have officially, I believe, $5 billion or more movies worldwide, which is a pretty good year for movies then. Lastly, let's look ahead to this weekend with only one new release being Escape Room. Now it's a horror movie, but it's also January, so it'll probably be a shitty horror movie, so the opening won't be too big. Let's say plus or minus around $15 million opening weekend. With that in mind, my top 5 will be in 1st place Aquaman, 2nd place Mary Poppins Returns, 3rd place Escape Room, 4th place Bumblebee, and rounding out the top 5 will be Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I think the difference between Escape Room and Bumblebee will be really close, so I wouldn't be surprised if it goes either way. But for my prediction's sake, I will go with Escape Room. So that is it for this week's episode of Box Office Receipts. As always, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TylerCallahan95. And thank you for listening.